Tonight on Newswatch, we'll tell you how one well-known company is helping out an ailing city in Detroit.
And also find out what national television station is making history with their recent hire.
I'll let you know how women's basketball did during last night's pink-out game.
Plus, we'll let you know how long these warm temperatures will last. Stay tuned. Newswatch starts right now.
This is Newswatch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Welcome to Newswatch at 8. I'm Sequan Gatlin.
And I'm Amanda Meyer. Thanks for watching. At least 28 people are dead and 61 injured following an explosion last night in Ankara, Turkey, the capital city of Turkey. Ankara's governor said the explosion was caused by a car bomb that detonated as buses sat at a traffic light. Turkey's semi-official news agency, Anadolu, reported the explosion hit 3 military vehicles in central Ankara near Turkish parliament buildings. Justice and Development Party spokesperson Omar Salik said on Twitter that it was an act of terrorism. No group has claimed responsibility.
ABC made history yesterday as they are the first broadcast company to name an African-American woman as network president. Channing Dungey, former vice president of drama at ABC, was promoted after Paul Lee stepped down. Dungey earned her stripes with smash hits projects like Scandal and American Crime. The change will go into effect immediately. Initial reports say Lee was forced out after a lengthy power struggle with Ben Sherwood, chairman of the Disney ABC television group. Lee was responsible for hits like How to Get Away with Murder. ABC has been a household name in television for years, but has struggled with ratings over the past year.
According to a brand new NBC News poll, Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump has fallen behind Ted Cruz in the national GOP horse race. In the poll, Cruz is the first choice of 28% of Republican primary voters, while Trump gets 26%. They're followed by Marco Rubio at 17%, John Kasich at 11%, Ben Carson at 10%, and Jeb Bush at 4%. The results from the poll, conducted after Trump's victory in New Hampshire and Saturday's GOP debate in South Carolina, are a significant reversal from last month when Trump held a 13-point lead over Cruz, 33% to 20%.
On the Democratic side, likely caucus goers in Nevada are split almost evenly between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders ahead of Saturday's caucuses. Though Clinton holds an edge over Sanders on handling a range of top issues, the results suggest the extremely close race hinges on divided opinions on the economy. According to CNN poll, 48% of likely caucus attendees say they will support Clinton, while 47% support Sanders. Both candidates carry their demographic strong points from prior states into Nevada, with Clinton holding an edge among women. Sanders tops the former Secretary of State among voters under age 55.
Some eager people reaching out to shake hands with Pope Francis during his visit to Morelia, Mexico, became too eager, pulling the pontiff off balance. Francis could be heard above the music on loudspeakers, urging the crowd not to be selfish. The normally easygoing pontiff gave the crowd a stern look to emphasize his point. He spoke to the people as his security detail helped pull him upright. The incident happened on a day when the Pope urged thousands of young people to value themselves and to have hope.
While in Mexico, the Pope also made comments directed at Donald Trump and his idea to build a wall on the United States southern border. Pope Francis commented that Trump is not Christian if he calls for the deportation of undocumented immigrants and pledges to build a wall between the U.S. and Mexico. Trump responded pointedly, saying that if and when ISIS attacks the Vatican, the Pope will be wishing for a President Trump. Pope Francis declined to advise American Catholics on who to vote for, but you can bet he won't be endorsing Trump.
Doctors could soon start prescribing an unusual solution to help stroke victims here in the U.S. Switzerland-based Mace received a $100 million investment to bring virtual reality goggles that provide reality hardware and the neuroscience to the market. CEO Tej Tadi told the story of a stroke victim who has lost control of his left hand but can still move his right hand. Tadi says that after putting on Mace goggles, the patient can see a 3D image or an avatar of their left hand that moves as they move their right hand. Mace won't say how much its device and software will cost, but Teddy is confident his solution will soon be in the hands or the heads of patients.
Colombian authorities are investigating the disappearance and dismemberment of at least 100 people whose bodies were allegedly thrown into a sewer system underneath the notorious prison in Bogota. The investigation is focusing on La Modelo, one of the Colombia's largest and most overpopulated prisons. But officials say the practice of dismembering people and tossing their remains into sewers might have also happened at other prisons in Colombian cities between 1999 and 2001. The discovery of bodies was made as part of an investigation of two former paramilitary group members. Colombian police are still investigating.
George Gaines, the longtime character actor who gained fame late in life with his roles in the TV series Punky Brewster and the Police Academy movies, died Monday. According to the King County, Washington Medical Examiner's Office, Gaines lived to be 98 years of age, but the cause of death has not been disclosed. The New York Times reported that Gaines died at his daughter's home in North Bend, Washington. Aside from his daughter and extended family, he is survived by his wife of 62 years, Alan Ann McCleary. According to the New York Times, a son died in a 1989 car crash.
A baby dolphin was pulled from the water by tourists and passed around for selfies yesterday in Buenos Aires. The dolphin later died from dehydration and overheating. After photos of the ordeal surfaced online, many viewers voiced their anger and disgust. A spokesperson from the Argentine Wildlife Foundation emphasized that this incident serves to inform the public about the urgent necessity to return these dolphins to the sea as soon as possible.
One person is in critical condition after a private helicopter crashed into Pearl Harbor today. The Genesis Aviation helicopter was conducting a tour of Oahu when it made a hard landing and sunk near the USS Arizona. 5 people were on board the helicopter and names have not yet been released. This is the second major crash this year involving helicopters on Oahu. Stay tuned for more news around you. You're watching Newswatch at 8. Welcome back to Newswatch. Grocery chain Hy-Vee has teamed up with Iowa State basketball star Monte Morris to help alleviate the water crisis in his hometown of Flint, Michigan. In 2014, Flint began using treated water from the Flint River in order to save money. They soon realized that the water was corrosive and lead from city pipes began to permeate the town's drinking water. The city immediately declared a state of emergency and thousands of residents have been forced to get their drinking water from outside sources. Monte Morris has been extremely vocal about the issue, catching the attention of Hy-Vee. In honor of Morris's jersey number, the grocery chain sent out 11 semi-trailers of drinking water to Flint on Thursday morning.
Ames homeowners are still dealing with the damage caused from a Monday water main break. The water main dumped up to 1 million gallons of water into the streets after a 1-inch break was discovered. The break was in the 1200 block of Wilson Avenue, which is just west of Mary Greenley Hospital. The city thinks the extreme temperature changes are to blame for the break. According to city officials, some Ames residents may have rusty water, which is not dangerous to drink, but can stain clothes. They suggest running cold taps for several minutes to clear the water and avoid using hot water, which can pull rust into water heaters in the home.
Student government shot down a bill to add a specific seat on the Senate for an international student. The bill was voted down with a vote of 20 to 13. Proponents of the bill said it would help work toward a more inclusive Iowa State. Opponents felt uncomfortable with the position being appointed and not including all diverse student groups in the representation. Student government meets every Wednesday to discuss the expectations of Iowa State students and how to address problems on campus.
Every day, the I-35 US 30 interchange sees a traffic flow of 32,500 vehicles, and in the past 10 years, the area has seen 277 crashes. The Iowa DOT held a public meeting Tuesday night to address any concerns about the proposed changes to the interchange. The plan includes changing the current loop ramps with a flyover bridge ramp. The project will start in the spring of 2017 and is projected to cost $16 million.
Iowa State is proposing a 3.5% cost increase for all campus parking beginning this summer. Iowa State's parking system does not receive state funding, making them completely dependent on parking fees. These fees help cover annual expenses such as filling potholes and painting lines. If approved, campus parking meters will increase from 50 to 75 cents per hour and reserved spots will go from $515 to $533. The increase is expected to bring in an additional $100,000 per year. The proposal will be up for approval at next week's Board of Regents meeting in Ames.
Iowa State will be saying goodbye to its Senior Vice President of Business and Finance. Warren Madden is retiring after spending the last 50 years dedicating his time to running the fiscal operations of the university. Madden played a role in the growth and development of Iowa State over the years. The amount of land the university owns has tripled since Madden began his journey. He also helped significantly with the establishment of the research park. Madden says retirement will bring travel and maybe even some golf. Don't worry, the family plans to stay in Ames.
An Iowa school was put on lockdown after a parent threatened staff members at an elementary, middle, and high school. The Collins-Maxwell School District locked down its buildings at 8:30 yesterday morning. High school principal Jordan Nelson said that one threat was made over the phone and 3 others were face-to-face, including one to him. Nelson declined to comment on the content of the threats. The lockdown lasted until 12:30 in the afternoon. Law enforcement was present throughout the entire process, and 440 students were affected by the lockdown.
The Ames City Council is in the planning phase of updating an area known as the Lincoln Way Corridor. The corridor is the area surrounding Lincoln Way, an east-west road that spans nearly 7 miles through the city and connects campus town to downtown. In order to determine what improvements need to be made in the area, the city has created a page on the Ames City website dedicated to the Lincoln Way Corridor project. Ames residents can go to the website to take a survey and customize a map of their area with their recommendations. The city will also be hosting 3 workshops in March to generate community input on the project.
What are your Friday night plans? They probably don't include skipping out on sleep to hack into software. For software and computer engineers, ISU Hack awaits. The weekend-long event starts Friday with check-in beginning at 5:30 p.m. Students will get into groups of 4 and spend the night either hacking or protecting software and hardware projects. The competition ends on Sunday at noon after 40 hours of coding.
Members of the Freshman Action Team, a division of the Black Student Alliance, hosted their Black Light Dodgeball special last night in Meyer Hall. Nearly 40 students participated in the event. Eventually, some upperclassmen joined in on the competition. FAT President Julian Neely says the special was to take a breather from school to have some fun. After a successful turnout for volleyball and dodgeball, BSA looks forward to more events. So, Brandon, what can we be expecting in the weather this week?
Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed the nice temperatures today, and we're even going to see some warmer temperatures tomorrow. We'll let you know on that coming up after the break. Welcome back to Newswatch, everybody. We're still doing fairly good out there, still mild, 41 degrees here in Ames with clear skies. We're mild all across the state with temperatures down even into the 50s in parts of southwest Iowa. Highs today, we topped out at 44 here. You see a nice spread of temperatures, though, 53 in Des Moines, 63 all the way over here in Council Bluffs, and then even this orange here, that's temperatures getting up into the 70s, and that temperatures are going to rise into the state even more so tomorrow. And we even had record heat in parts of the Midwest. Here in Kansas, temperatures reaching up to 90s, even in Oklahoma. So it's a very warm system. We have a warm front right here that's beginning to track our way into northward, so we can see temperatures getting up into the 60s tomorrow for here in Ames. And that southern wind really helped us out. Pretty gusty out there, 15 miles per hour around the state right now, 8 over in Sioux City. That southern wind is again bringing up those warm temperatures. Now, we only needed some sunshine today to make it an even better day, which we didn't see, but it's on the way. We see some clearing over here out to our west, and that'll move our way overnight tonight, as well as this warm front beginning to bring nice temperatures into the 60s for most of the state, even some 70s, possibly some 80s down to the southwest portion of the state. And as that low continues to track off to the east, we do see a cold front come through, but it's a weak one. It shouldn't do too much damage to our temperatures. We'll still see some nice conditions out there. And then some nice clearing for Friday going into Saturday morning. Clear skies, sunny skies, warm temperatures. Make sure you get outside and enjoy the day because it's going to be very nice out there. Now, the only thing to worry about is wind advisories right now. As this low pass, we're talking gusts up to 30 miles an hour, sustained wind about 20 miles per hour. So it'll be warm but breezy at the same time. I'm sure everybody would like to take 60 and breezy over cold any day. Our lows tonight are expected to stay into the 40s, actually. 43 here in Ames, 41 in Marshalltown, and 47 in Des Moines. Again, we'll see those clouds begin to move out of here and that west-southwest wind at 20-plus miles an hour. It'll be breezy out there. And then highs tomorrow, we're going to make it up into the 60s, 64 in Ottumwa, 64 in Des Moines, 63 over in Council Bluffs. So very nice temperatures for middle of February, really. 60 here in Ames tomorrow. It'll be warm and windy with west winds 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusting up to 30. So again, warm and windy. It's going to be very nice out there. And sunny skies for Friday, Saturday, and partly cloudy skies going into Sunday and Monday. We do begin to cool off temperature-wise starting on Monday, getting back down into the 40s. But hey, I don't think anybody's complaining out there. And then 40s to close out your week next week. Stay tuned. We'll have sports up next.
Welcome back. I'm Cassidy Mace with sports. The Iowa State women's basketball team got a big win last night in a 77-48 blowout against Texas Tech. The Cyclones started off strong with a 29-0 run in the first half. Iowa State was led by freshman forward Meredith Burkall, who shot 7 for 12 and grabbed 19 rebounds. Last night was the team's annual Play for K game, highlighted by a standing ovation from the crowd after junior Lexi Albright sunk a 3 in the fourth quarter. Albert's sister lost her fight against cancer in December and was honored by the players in Hilton Coliseum before the game. The Iowa State men's basketball team is looking to bounce back after a road loss this Saturday against TCU. The Cyclones fell to the Baylor Bears on Tuesday in Waco, 100-91. Despite the loss, Iowa State showed its strength in 3 noteworthy starters. George Niang made history as he passed his 2,000th career point, passing well-known Iowa State alum Fred Hoiberg to reach 3rd on Iowa State's all-time scoring list. Abdel Nader and Monte Morris both showed a good effort against Baylor, Nader tying his career high with 26 points and Morris recording a double-double. The Cyclones are currently 18-8 and 7-6 in the Big 12. They hope to gain another conference win at Hilton on Saturday night at 6:30. The Cyclone gymnastics team will also be competing in Hilton Coliseum this weekend, hosting 2 meets on Friday and Sunday. The first meet will be against Air Force in number 18 Minnesota on Friday night at 6:30. The Cyclones will then compete in a quad meet on Sunday against number 14 Nebraska, NC State, and UW La Crosse. The Cyclones are 9-2 and ranked 33rd nationally. The number 15 Iowa State wrestling team will finish up their regular season this Friday at number 18 Minnesota. The Cyclones are currently 10-5 and 2-2 in the conference. Friday's meet will be held in Minneapolis in the Williams Arena at 7:30 p.m. and will be the opening matchup of this year's NWCA National Duels. The Iowa State wrestling program is celebrating 100 years of wrestling this season, having celebrated the landmark during their final Big 12 competition of the season, where they defeated West Virginia 28-11. And that's all I have for your Cyclone sports. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to stay right there for more Newswatch after the break.
Rapper Drake continues to make headlines after announcing his new champagne and shoe release. After his NBA All-Star celebrity appearance coaching against Kevin Hart last weekend, the Toronto rapper released his collaborative shoe with NBA legend Michael Jordan. Drizzy and MJ combined to make the new Air Jordan 10 Retro OVOs. The shoes were initially retailed at $225 and are now selling for $1,000 a pair. Although he hasn't released his liquor brand Virginia Black Whiskey, he captioned a photo saying, "What else is there to do better than to celebrate with class?" Vibe.com suggests the whiskey will come out in April.
Twitter has been making major changes recently, and now they have rolled out another feature. GIFs, popular short videos that really help get your point across, can now be searched via a GIF search on the Twitter site. With the tap of a button, users can sift through thousands of GIFs to accompany their savvy tweets. The GIFs have categories, or users can search directly. Tweets can still hold 140 characters with a GIF, something many users were worried about. Twitter announced over 100 million GIFs were shared in 2015, and the Twitter world is obsessing.
In a major medical breakthrough, scientists have created a new way to grow and feed 3D printed body parts. 3D printing organs is not a new concept, but researchers have always had trouble keeping the artificial organs alive. The new development of the integrated tissue and organ printing system both keeps the cells alive and breaks down when put into an animal, allowing the animal's own cells to replace it. Scientists have successfully grown and implanted bone, muscle, and cartilage into living animals. Some doctors hope that the new organ printing system will be ready to use in humans within a decade. And that's all we have for this edition of Newswatch.
Come back Thursday for more Cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a great night, Ames.